viewers, we're back in our lovely feeder kitchen here at the Chickadee Program Center. Today we're going to work on an ambassador badge. We're going to be focusing on dinner party. So this badge pamphlet takes you through the 5 steps of having your very own custom dinner party, which includes create your menu, make a budget and shopping list, practice timing your courses, explore imaginative ways to present your food, and host your party. Today, we're going to be focusing on preparing our meal, and we have chosen a summer menu of chicken fajitas, Mexican corn salad, and strawberry soft serve ice cream. What you make will depend on not only the season that you're presenting in, but on your guests. Knowing who you're serving is very, very important. You don't want to serve a rare flank steak to a vegetarian. You don't want to include nuts in a dish to somebody who has a nut allergy. So surveying your guests before they come is very important in how you will plan your menu. In other steps, we will focus on how to use a budget and creative ways of shopping that will save you money, like buying in bulk. So we're going to focus on step 3, which is timing your courses. When you're serving a several course meal to many, many people, you want to make sure that everything comes out at the same time, hot and fresh, and in the best possible light. So sometimes you have to work backwards. As for the ice cream that I'm going to make, it's going to take 3 to 4 hours to set. So I don't want to start the ice cream when I'm putting the fajitas on the table, because obviously it's not going to be done. So we're going to start with dessert and work our way backwards. So for dessert today, we are going to make a fresh fruit ice cream. And this ice cream is super easy to do because it does not require any churning. It has very few ingredients, and it also uses the pectin, the sugars in the fruit, to do most of the solidifying. So it's mainly just chopping it up, blending your ingredients together, putting it in your loaf pan, and then putting it in your freezer. So I have here 7 cups, which is a ton of frozen fruit. I've chosen strawberries. You could use blueberries, raspberries, any frozen fruit that you choose. Customize it to your season. And I have cut most of these in half just to kind of give me a little head start on getting them chopped up. I'm going to start putting them here in the food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you could complete this step in a blender. But you will need some kind of mechanical chopping agent to get this frozen fruit into the proper state for this recipe. So I'm going to work through this in batches. Put my top on here, line it up, lock it in. There we go. And then I'm going to start pulsing this until my fruit is all incorporated and it is starting to look a little frothy. So I'll start it off here. I'm going to put this in there so I don't shoot fruit all over the room. So if you alternate pulsing and running it, it will pull all the fruit to the bottom. And then you will have to get in there and kind of scrape it down, mix it up. So you can see I've got stuff on the outside here that is all chopped up, but then I have whole pieces still in there. I'm going to add a little bit more. I'll see you back after I complete this step. Okay, so I've gotten all 7 cups of our fruit processed. It is nice and fluffy and pulverized. So now to this, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup. I struggle with my lid here. There we go. I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of sweetened condensed milk, a tablespoon of honey, and I think plunger here that keeps me from spraying the room with strawberry paste. And I'm going to pulse as I pour in. Turn it on. Okay, scrape that out because sweetened condensed milk likes to stick, and I don't want to miss a drop. So this is pretty much between this and the honey is the only sweetener that we're adding to this ice cream. Okay, set that there. Normally I would just eyeball my honey, but for the sake of doing it right, so this is the first time I am making this recipe. First time I make a recipe, I generally measure everything. And after I've done something half a dozen times or so, I have a better idea of what the amounts look like. Measuring is always the best, most accurate way to make sure that your recipes come out. Okay, that looks good to me. Looks like it's pretty well blended. Now I'm going to pour this into, take that off first. I'm going to pour this into our loaf pan here. And then we're going to put this in the freezer, and we should have a soft serve consistency in about 3 to 4 hours. Now the speed at which you complete these steps will greatly affect your set time. If you let your frozen fruit set out and defrost, the warmer it is, the longer it's going to take to set. So doing these steps with some speed here is important. Now, I use my hands a lot in the kitchen. I always, always, always wash my hands before I start and in between doing things. So if I stop and I go and I pick something else up, I will go to the sink and wash my hands again because my hands are my favorite tools. So making sure that you keep your hands and your utensils clean are important. I am going to leave that there. Spread it out. Set this guy down. Rinse my very sticky hand off there. And then we're going to go put this guy in the freezer. I think I'm going to leave him open to start and not cover him with saran wrap and see what that does to his texture.